Good evening, members of the Board of Trustees. My name is Dormedy. I teach chemistry classes at Clovis Community College, but I'm reading a statement that was written by Blanken, who is not here because he's teaching lab right now. Hello, my name is Blanken. I teach chemistry at Reedley College. I'm here today to explain how important and valuable the lab portion of my chemistry classes are to my students. Subjects like chemistry, physics, biology, and others simply couldn't be taught effectively without lab instruction. The lab is where a bulk of the in-person learning takes place. The lab is where students apply what is taught during lecture to real-world physical processes. They actually see chemical reactions take place. As the instructor, I have to ensure that my students are safe when doing lab work. I ensure they are wearing proper safety equipment and are conducting the lab work safely, as are their lab partners. I also ensure the lab equipment is working properly and all the necessary lab materials are in the lab for the students to conduct the experiment. In the lab is where I can interact with the students one-on-one. In the lab is where I can get to know my students. In the lab is where real substantive RSI takes place. In this personal interaction that keeps students engaged when they get discouraged. When the lab is completed, I have to grade between 270 and 450 pages of student work each week. I'm also continually looking at how to improve the experiments to make them more understandable, utilize new technology that will align our lab work with what is done in commercial labs. In summary, lab is where the real learning takes place in a safe and instructive environment. In the lab is where students can get excited about science and learning. Science comes alive in the lab. It becomes a real, in the lab it becomes real. I can still vividly remember the chemistry, physics, and biology labs I did as an undergrad and grad student over 30 years ago. As an instructor, the bulk of my work time each week is spent preparing lab, teaching the lab portion, and grading and processing the student lab work. It's never been explained to me why the lab pay rate is significantly less than the lecture rate. This is especially perplexing since the lab is where the bulk of my time in a typical week work is spent, either directly or indirectly. Lab is indispensable to student success and retention. Thank you.